In this section, we're going to talk about motivational strategies, things that you can do to help keep yourself motivated. And the first one is quite simply act as if you're motivated. Acting as if you're motivated, we know very, very clearly that the environment that you create around you is a direct reflection of what's going on inside of you. You can simply look at one of your friends and be able to tell what mood they are in because you're able to see their external environment. It includes, their physical posture, their facial expressions, how they're dressed, how somebody keeps their house, their car, even the thoughts. All areas that you're responsible for creating are a reflection of what's going on inside of you. And fortunately, it works the other way around too. That your external environment reflects back and changes your attitude inside. It's why you feel different when you walk into a 4-star hotel or a 4-star restaurant. You're just able to see you're in this nice, neat, clean environment. And so you're able to feel better. It's why so many school districts all across the country have gone to dress codes. Because when a student is dressed up and looking nice, they feel better. When they feel better, they act out less. The teacher can spend more time in actual classroom instruction and less time in classroom management. This is a very, very powerful tool. Simple to use. It does take quite a bit of willpower. It takes quite a bit of willpower because you need to be able to recognize that you're in a bad mood, that you have a bad attitude, and then have the willpower to say, I'm going to change this. And this one is simply used, if you were in a good mood, how would you act? How would you stand? How would you walk? What would your facial expressions be like? And fake it. And in a short amount of faking, just acting, you start changing inside. You can begin this first thing in the morning. You wake up first thing in the morning and you recognize right away that you're not in the best mood. Well, that's when you can dress your best, do your hair your best, do your makeup the best. Start thinking the thoughts. If I really, really wanted to be at work, what thoughts would I be thinking? If I really wanted to be at school, what thoughts would I be thinking? And then think them. You have 100% of control over the thoughts that you think, so think those thoughts. Act that way. How would you walk from your car into the building if you really wanted to be there? What would the words you said to the receptionist be? What would your tone of voice be? Your facial expression be? And then act as if. And in a short time, you'll actually achieve that mood. It's a very, very powerful tool to use, very quick to use. It does require willpower because you have to have the willpower to recognize you're in a bad mood and the willpower to get out of that bad mood. For another motivational strategy is to use affirmations. Now, affirmations are the positive things that we say to ourselves. It's our positive self-talk. They help us stay motivated and they help quiet down the negative voices in our head. We all hear these negative voices. It's the I can'ts, the I shouldn'ts, I'm not good enough, I'm not tall enough, I'm not strong enough, they're in a different league, I don't have the experience, they won't like me, why should I go to school? Nobody else in my family has gone to school, why do I think I'm better than everybody else? Voices. And we all have these voices. Affirmations help us quiet down those negative voices. They help us stay motivated. The trick to using affirmation is to find one that works for you and then to say that over and over and over and over again and again and again and again because those negative voices just don't shut up. So keep saying that. Write it down, make a poster out of it, put it on a 3x5 card, stick it on your bathroom mirror, on your refrigerator, in your notebook, and say this to you every single day, several times a day. Say it until you believe it. Another very powerful motivational strategy is to use visualizations. Visualizations are when we use our mind's eye to see the ultimate outcome of our goal. And as we're visualizing, we don't visualize the step-by-step process it takes to achieve the goal. Just visualize the ultimate outcome. If your goal is to graduate, Visualize yourself walking across the stage, wearing that graduation gown, that flat hat. Visualize yourself receiving that diploma. See yourself standing up on stage and looking out in the audience, and there's your family and your loved ones. It's not just this intellectual activity, but bring in the emotion. How are you going to feel when you achieve your goal? Because it's the emotions that drive us into action. It's not just the visualization. It's the emotions that drive us into action. If your goal is to take care of your family, how are you going to feel when you're able to move your family into a house that you purchased? How are you going to feel when you take your family on those vacations? Bring all of this emotion in there and make it a regular activity. Maybe every night before you go to sleep, or every morning before you wake up, before you get out of bed. Take the time to visualize your goals. And then, use your goals. Regularly read your goals. Revise your goals as necessary. Read your goals all the time to keep that goal fresh in your mind. Carry that goal around with you. See it every morning. Talk to yourself about it. Carry it around with you. Stick it in your notebook. Keep your goal in mind all the time. Your goals help you make choices. Your goals give meaning to the sacrifices. Keep the emotions in your goal. What are your underlying reasons? What are the why that you want to achieve that goal? Remember, it's the emotion that drives you into action. Keep that goal in mind. It is hard to keep your energy up. It is hard to keep that motivation level up, that positive attitude up, when we're not staying physically and mentally fit. So do something to stay physically and mentally fit. And by physical fitness, I don't mean that you have to be able to run the 4-minute mile or to bench press 350 pounds. By physical fitness, I'm talking about stamina. Do you have the stamina to work your shift, to go home, to take care of yourself and your family, go to bed, get up the next day, and start it all over again, day after day after day, and keeping your motivation up, keeping your attitude up? Many places have gone to 12-hour work shifts. Do you have the stamina to do your 12 hours day after day, and somebody calls in sick and you have to pick up an extra shift or two? That's stamina. And by mental fitness, we're looking at, what are you doing to reduce your stress? Do you have hobbies? Do you have activities and something to do to reduce your stress? Reading books, gardening, going skiing, bike riding, taking hikes, doing cross-stitch, baking cookies. What is it that you do to reduce your stress while you're at home? And then we get reframing. Reframing is something that's fairly easy to help somebody else to do, but it's hard to do by yourself. Reframing is seeing the negative, or seeing the positive that's hiding within those negatives. Reframing is seeing the glass as half full rather than half empty. Reframing is seeing the silver lining to all the storm clouds. Reframing is when your boss calls you into the office and scolds you, and you leave that office not thinking you were just scolded, but now you've learned a lesson about how to be a better employee. Reframing is when you get a bad grade on a quiz or an exam, not going away thinking, I'm a stupid idiot, but now I know how the instructor makes their quizzes. Now I know how I need to study. And then we come to rewarding yourself. This has to begin with a reminder that you're adults now. If you wait for somebody to catch you doing something good and pat you on the back, you could be waiting for a long time. It's catch yourself being successful. Catch yourself working towards your goals. Catch yourself doing something good and reward yourself. Take the dog for a walk, just you and the dog. Stop and get an ice cream cone on the way home. But do something to reward yourself and tell yourself, I'm doing this because I deserve it. Choose these motivational strategies. Use those affirmations. Visualize your goals. Write your goals down. Read them every single day. Act as if you're motivated. Create that motivational attitude. You are the one that's responsible for your own attitude. You are the one responsible for your own motivation.